everyone. How are you doing today? You're welcome to Breaking Barriers. This episode is fantastic because guess what? They say lightning doesn't strike twice, but this time it is. Because you may have seen the very first episode of Breaking Barriers. We had a wonderful guest, and guess what? She had so much in store, we couldn't but bring her back. And so I'm pleased to welcome, for the second time, Honorable Charmaine Williams.
Thank you so much. It's great to be back. It really is.
Thank you very much, and thank you for helping us brace the tape, as it were.
Yes.
And like we said the other day, you're a woman of many firsts.
Yes.
So this is just one of many things you've.
That's right. First on this show,
Yes.
add it to that list.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So if you watched the first episode, and if you have not, I recommend that you do. We covered a lot of things. She shared about how she came into Canada in the 80s with her family. She was actually born in the UK, so she's a migrant. She actually said that I think your grandfather went from Jamaica to the UK. Your dad came from UK to Canada.
Yes.
And you're staying in Canada.
I'm staying in Canada. My parents found the best country to live in. We are truly happy and pleased and blessed to be Canadians. And especially now when we're dealing with threats from the South. President Trump wants to hurt our economy.
Yeah.
And so many of us who have chosen to make Canada our home. Mm-hmm. And so we want to protect Ontario and make the message very clear that Canada is not for sale.
Yeah, Canada is not for sale. But I actually think it's a blessing in disguise, because for me, in some shape or form, I think Canada has been a sleeping giant. So we have a lot in store, but we just needed that to be provoked. So the best is yet to come, and I agree with you.
Absolutely. And yesterday was budget day at Queen's Park.
Okay.
And we released our spring budget, and it is full of investments to stimulate our economy and protect the jobs that we know build our province, and very ambitious. We want to build the Ring of Fire, which is, Canada, Ontario is so rich in important minerals needed in the EV battery industry. Yeah. And we also are rich in potash and many different other pieces that America needs. But we can really look at how we can help all provinces across Canada. Yeah. And so that is one of the other aspects, is making sure we are engaging in interprovincial trade.
Great. I think the single currency or single economy is something that I've heard bandied around, and I think it's something that we should be working towards.
Absolutely.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves, because recently, in the first episode, we focused on how she was re-elected as the member of Provincial Parliament for Brampton Centre, and we spent a lot of time sharing her ideas on that. Today, the focus is a little bit different. She also has been reappointed, not elected this time, reappointed as the Associate Minister of Women's Social and Economic Opportunities. Congratulations on that.
Thank you so very much.
How does that make you feel? You're the first, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Well, I'm the first Black cabinet minister with a progressive conservative government. And I am still in cabinet, and I am in the position as the Associate Minister for Women's Social and Economic Opportunities, which is so extremely important. Women make up a bit more than half of our population here, and women play a vital role in our economy, and we need to make sure that women have the opportunities, and that's what I'm going to be working on until there's another shuffle or not, but I will be focusing on how we can build out women's participation in our economy.
In the first term, I did see a couple of times you were in videos going from one facility to the other. I guess there will be a lot more of that going forward.
There'll be more of that, but also looking at how we can support many women in different sectors. We have a huge focus in our budget on building out the mining industry. There are many women who are in the mining industry. There are women who are working deep underground in mines, but there are also many women who are working in different facets of the mining industry that need a voice and need people to connect to and know how to navigate. That's the same thing with forestry, and we have the same thing in tech and deep tech and fintech. And so I want to make sure we're creating networks for women to engage in the various sectors where we're underrepresented represented, but also to ensure that women know how to navigate and be able to grow their presence and grow their ability to do their job.
Fantastic. So how do you combine your role then as a minister and as the MPP? Because I imagine now you'll be traveling around Ontario, because it's not Minister of Brampton, it's Associate Minister of Ontario. So
yes.
How does that work?
So a typical time when the House is sitting,
Yes.
and right now the House is currently sitting until actually yesterday we adjourned for the week.
Okay.
But when the House is sitting, I am at Queen's Park from Monday to Thursday.
Okay.
And during that time, I'm engaging in debates in chambers. I also have to be in chambers on something called House Duty Day, where I'm there all day Thursday in the chambers, engaging in debates.
Okay.
But when the House isn't sitting, which is on Fridays, and a few weeks throughout the year. So this week, for example, I am in the constituency.
Okay.
And so when I'm in the constituency, I am MPP Charmaine Williams.
I see.
And I am here to support the community and to address the issues that they are coming in to meet with me about. And that can range from housing, it can range from food insecurity, but it could also range from business development and also just navigating, Brampton. And some people just need help on who to go and where to go and who to talk to when they're having difficulties.
So what prepares you for this kind of role? Because one thing to be a politician is another thing to have the breadth of skills or knowledge to be able to engage people from different interests. How did you develop that? Because I imagine it was some journey for you.
Well, the main thing has to do with the career I chose.
Okay.
Working in children's mental health, it was, I was meeting with families and having to connect with families, build trust with families and the young people I was working with. Interpersonal skills.
Yes.
And so I'm trained in a number of different therapeutic modalities like cognitive behavioral therapy, multisystemic therapy, dialectic behavioral therapy, like many different therapies that have helped me develop ways to communicate and to help families work through the challenges that they're faced. Solution focused therapy is a great one because I'm really dialed in on how can I help solve the problem that you're trying to manage. And that, counseling skills, because anytime somebody comes into the office to meet with me, I want to understand what they're faced with.
Yeah.
What is the challenge? I want to be able to help them come to find some solutions. And as government, I'm not always going to have the straightforward path, but there's always a way that we can get to the bottom of it, especially if you have seniors that you're taking care of and you need access to long-term care. Like that, there's a ministry for that. If you are starting a business in Ontario and in Brampton, there's a ministry for that. If you're dealing with traffic issues and licensing issues in Ontario, there's a ministry for that. If you're dealing with schools and you having difficulty navigating a challenging problem that your child is facing in school, there's a ministry for that.
Okay.
So our Ontario government is connected to almost every single facet of your life.
Wow. You seem to be enjoying it because I see your eyes are lighting up.
I do enjoy it.
For a second term, that's impressive. That means you really love this job. Right?
In order to be a good public servant, you really do have to enjoy helping people. I know some politicians, they like the pomp and circumstance, they like the clout and the status, but really in Canada it is all about serving your community. And good politicians have an open door policy where you can call them or go into their office and meet with somebody who's going to help you in your time of need.
So let's cast our minds back to your first time in office as the minister. What was, in your view, your biggest achievement on that term, and how are you looking to improve even on that?
As Minister for Women, there's a number of things. In 2022, when I was first elected, after COVID really highlighted major issues with domestic violence, violence against women. Many calls into our local police departments escalated during COVID. There was a real issue happening. Many women didn't feel safe. Many women's support networks were broken down. And so we have to address the violence that women were facing in Canada. So in 2022, I met with all provinces and Northwest Territories. All of us met together with the federal minister. At the time, it was Marcy Ian.
Okay.
And we worked on our federal, provincial gender-based violence national action plan. That national action plan was the framework that all of us provincially were taking back to create our own provincial strategy. So in 2023 of December, we released Ontario's strategy to end gender-based violence and end violence against women. And we committed $1.4 billion to that strategy.
Wow. And
so we were funding organizations over the next 4 years to make sure that women had supports when they need it. And we also released a call for proposals, which was really important because we were able to take the funding the federal government gave us, which was around $162 million. We increased the base funding for a number of organizations that were funded through the province to increase their capacity. But then we took $100 million and said, let's give it to new initiatives that are happening in community. And those organizations were able to put the money into it. So we increased the base funding for quite a few organizations that were serving women that needed extra funding. But then we took $100 million and we did a call for proposals. And we received applications from across Ontario for new initiatives that were happening, and also initiatives that encourage communities to collaborate with each other, organizations to start working together to address the gaps that we were seeing in service for women. And so I was able to hand out really big checks, which was exciting. And that happened just, but we were able to fund 83 organizations and spend $98 million. 83 organizations, $98 million went to organizations across Ontario. And in Peel, which I'm so proud of, Peel has a safe center for women where they can go and get immediate support. And we gave Peel Safe Center $4 million to be able to expand their services. And we also gave Victim Services Peel over $2 million. Big Brothers Big Sisters received funding, and a number of other organizations. So it's been a proud moment.
That's really impressive. That's really, really impressive.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, we'll come back on the second half, but you can see that she's really on fire, and you hear more when we come back. Thank you.
Thank you.
To Brampton, where dreams take off lights, we come together, we shine so bright.
Welcome Brampton and all over GTA. From age 5 to 30, get ready for an amazing talent hunt show.
Welcome to the second season of Brampton Rising Stars, where our theme this year is Color Your World.
Imagine a stage bursting with creativity, expression, and the vibrant richness of color that inspires us every day.
Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood.
We believe that every shade, every hue tells a story.
The way he sings. So I want to give him a chance to show.
After watching the performance tonight and also having seen their progression from audition,
this season, we invite you to showcase your talent, where it's in music, dance, virtual art, or spoken word.
No wonder the world is so full of it. For the withdrawal is too much to bear. I'd rather not dare. It has me on lock and key. For the key to set me free is not mine to keep.
Bring your unique colors to life and share your creative journey.
Register now at BramptonRisingStars.ca.
Registration opens 1st of May and it runs through the 15th of June 2025.
This event is supported by
For sponsorship opportunities and participation inquiries, please visit bramptonrisingstars.ca. Contact numbers.
Welcome back, viewers. Still breaking barriers, and we're having a fantastic time with Charmaine Williams, Minister, Associate Minister for Women's Social and Economic. Wow, it's a mouthful, but
you're one of the ones that actually gets it right. I'm really impressed with him because so many people like fumble around it, but you've gotten it right every time.
Because you know why? Because you have, I don't know who it is in your office. One time you did a voice note video for an event we did, and I posted it. And this individual lady, I'm sure, made me redo it.
Oh, really?
And so I mastered. It's thanks to her. Yeah, but that's good. So we've shared some of the things that she's done. Obviously, we can't cover everything, but she's clearly busy, and she's clearly done a lot in her first time, and I know that it will even be more. But let's segue a bit to the family. You have a family that is behind. She's married to Steve, and Steve didn't leave.
Steve is still with me.
Oh yeah, in all of this, so that's a good thing. So how do you unwind? Because there's a toll on this.
Yes, I try to unwind. It's a very busy job that I do have.
I can imagine.
A lot of kids. You're right. I have a lot of kids. But you know, it's important for me to make sure I don't overextend myself. I have to be a mother that is there for my children.
Yep.
I'm trying not to raise a generation of children that becomes a problem.
Yeah.
And you have to be present for your kids. And so I make sure on weekends, the Lord's Day on Sunday, I go to church with them, and I try and stay home with them on Sunday, and we can prepare ourselves for the week. When I'm in my constituency, my goal is to be home to, make them dinner, and I cook as much as I can for my family.
You still cook?
Of course I do.
Wow.
Yeah. Steve and I compromised because during COVID,
yes.
Like how many of your spouses did this? And I'm throwing that out there. You probably put it in the chat.
Yes.
But how many of your spouses picked up barbecuing or smoking meat during COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my husband did. And so we have smokers, and it's like a hobby for him.
Wow.
I swear his barbecue ribs are amazing. So we have this thing. I will season the meat, clean it and everything, and he will cook it and do it on the smoker and the barbecue and stuff. So
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So it's good you're having fun, and we're in the barbecue season now.
Yes, we are. But you know what? When you have a husband that's created a hobby out of smoking meat, ladies, buy your husband a good barbecue. He'll be on it a lot.
I better learn it now.
We do this all year round. So he will use the smoker and all that stuff, even in the winter.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Nice. And if your kids are watching, children, thank you so much for sharing your mom with us. I know that you probably want to have her more. Thank you for the sacrifice. We appreciate you, just as we appreciate her.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you said you'd been to Africa. Which part of Africa have you been to?
I've been to Africa twice.
Oh, really?
Nigeria twice.
Nigeria, okay.
First time I was in Abuja.
Okay, that's the federal capital.
And I was there for a Nigerian-Canadian investment summit. And it was really great. It was a great summit. Lots to see.
Amazing.
Young people. Nigeria has so many entrepreneurs.
Oh yeah.
I love it because when you look at what you can invest in and who you can invest in Nigeria, by population size alone, there is automatic success.
Yes.
And a great ROI on your investment. I just think more people need to see the opportunities and invest in the young entrepreneurs out there.
I agree.
And so that summit was an eye-opener.
Okay.
The second time I went was to Lagos.
Oh,
that was a different kind of vibe,
Yes, That's a commercial nerve center, actually.
It was great, though. We got to go to a Nollywood event.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but we did a drive out to Ife to see the One of Ife.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we were out there, and yeah, it was just a really, really cool time.
Wow, you really had the best of times in Nigeria.
We did.
That's good. And beyond Nigeria, there are many other wonderful countries in Africa. There's East Africa, Kenya, South Africa, Ghana,
I would love to go back. I'm telling, like the last time we were talking,
yes,
going to Africa, it's the reason why when I came back, we wrote the motion to have a foreign direct investment coordinator for Africa and the Caribbean.
Wow.
That's why that position is at the City of Brampton right now.
Wow.
We need an advisor to help people from Africa, the Caribbean, to expand their businesses here.
Yeah.
We have many who are entrepreneurial, who could grow their businesses.
Yes.
But the City of Brampton didn't have a coordinator. They have one for Germany. They have one for America, like so many other countries, but not the largest continent in the world, right?
Yeah.
So.
Wow. So it's thanks to you, because you know what? I'll be making a delegation in the town of Oakville on Tuesday, and one of the things I'll be advocating for is let's make Brampton a case study so we can take some of those ideas. So thanks to you for making that happen.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, good stuff. I plan to this holiday learn how to play golf, because that's something I've been wanting to learn for a long time.
Yes.
Is this something you? I
do like golfing. I really do. I think all women need to get into golf.
Really?
It's like a man's hidden secret, right? Business deals happen on the golf course. Men, I'm going to play golf. It's a break.
Yes.
Ladies, get into golf. I love golfing. And I actually golf with my oldest son, who's 21.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And we go out on like a Sunday afternoon. You can do 9 rounds in like 2 hours, right? And it's so relaxing to be out on a golf course where it's quiet. There's trees everywhere. It's just you and that ball, and it's a great time. And then sometimes you can go and you have a few drinks if that's your thing on the golf course, and you just have a great time.
Yeah. I find a place where you can do many things. I don't know how to play per se, but I always love going because of the networking and the fun,
Exactly.
So it's all good.
Learn to play, and then it will change everything for you.
Okay.
Yeah. So go take
I'll
lessons.
take the challenge.
The City of Brampton does offer golf lessons.
Okay.
Yep. So
for free?
Take lessons. No, not for free. But there's a great organization in Brampton called En Route to Success.
Okay.
And they teach kids chess and golf.
Wow.
But they are a great contact to talk with about, learning how to golf. There's also a group online called Black Girls Golf Club.
Okay.
And they get together in Brampton, Durham, all over the place. And they're Black women learning how to play golf. So check
that's
them out.
nice. I just need to find time because I coach basketball. So I need to find time to make that happen. But it's going to
ask some of the dads on the basketball team if they golf. And I bet you some of them do. You just join with them.
I actually have many opportunities. I'm a community leader, as you know, in my town. So, but it's something I want to do this year.
You need to bring my colleague Z Hamid out with you.
Okay. No problem. That sounds good. So given that you've been to Africa, did you make time to trace your roots? Is that something that I hear a lot of people from Jamaica or from Caribbean saying that. Is that something?
This is the reality of so many people from the Caribbean. We cannot deny the history of slavery.
Yeah.
Jamaicans and Caribbean people, our ancestry is from Africa. Unless you are indigenous to the island.
Yeah.
And that population is small.
Small.
When I went to Nigeria, the amount of people I saw that I could say looks like an auntie or an uncle, there's so much character similarities. And so my family, we did our ancestry DNA, and we learned that we are, and I have to go back and look, I think we're like 27% Nigerian.
Oh, really?
And another percentage from Benin.
Okay.
But when you
Which
look
is just next door?
it's right next door.
Yes.
So when you look at the geography,
yes,
before the British really carved up Africa and the French carved up Africa, we're all from the same area.
Yes.
Right? Many Jamaicans think we're from Ghana, but after we did ours, we're like, oh, we have strong Nigerian connection.
Yeah.
And, I think that's a reality that many people in the Caribbean need to actually do their DNA just to see where they're connected to and when it comes to Africa.
Well, I can tell you're a Nigerian guy because of your energy, your passion. But, I give a lot of credit to Jamaica. Jamaica is one country that baffles me. The population is not super large, but you turn out many things in sports, in music, I'm amazed. It's really impressive. It's like they put the best of the best in that, and your genes just keep producing.
They say that Jamaica was made up of the slaves who were the strongest, the most.
No surprise there.
Yeah, they sent them to Jamaica. Jamaica was the island that African or slaves sent to be broken, to be disciplined, because we're fighters.
Yeah.
And I think when you look at Nigerians and where we came from, it's in our blood to fight back. Yeah. Yeah. And so Jamaica has very strong roots in being aggressive and determined and very focused on being successful, on winning. And you know what I mean? We have it, it's in our DNA.
Yeah.
I think the frustrations that we have is we do live in a colonized society. Yeah. We emotionally, physically, mentally have been broken by the impacts of slavery and colonization. Yeah. And that has impacted the trajectory and success for many of us. And you see that here in Canada because people are immigrated from the Caribbean. You have had more immigration from the Caribbean in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Than Africa.
Yes.
Africa, you're seeing more immigration from Africa in the past 5 to 10 years.
Yes, that's correct.
Right? And so the makeup of Black people here in Canada is changing. And I think there's an opportunity for Africans and Caribbean people to see the connection, because at the end of the day, when you're in Canada, when people see a Black person, they don't know where we're from.
Yes.
Right? They don't know that I'm a Jamaican background. They don't know that you're Nigerian. They don't know. They just see Black.
Yes.
And so the same racism that we felt in the 70s and 80s, you will feel now.
Yeah.
And I know it's a bit of a shock for a lot of Nigerians and Africans coming into Canada thinking, I should be given every opportunity here. Why am I not progressing in my business? What's going on? And you should really look at the Jamaicans who are here, because we could teach you how to deal with that racism that we are so very familiar with.
Yes. Well, I think you hit on the head in that you've been around longer. And there's a lot of benefit in us taking learnings from you. But also important is that we should avoid being fragmented, because at the end of the day,
100%.
They only say Black. In fact, in my town, one of the officials had said, please try and work together. And that's something that actually rings through everywhere, because that
we have to.
Yeah.
And understand colonization, they use divide and conquer strategies in order to prevent people from rising up.
Yeah.
And that's why when you see communities fighting against each other, we are falling victim to the same strategies used and to colonize our countries.
Yeah.
So we have to work together.
Yeah.
We have to see the value in understanding that new Africans coming to Canada, you guys have this amazing sense of hunger that you're accomplishing big things because you do not see or are not inhibited or deterred by the racism that we've experienced in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, or the racism that we think we're going to be faced with if we take a chance.
Yeah.
That's why I love the ambition of Africans coming here. And it's a huge wake-up call to many people from the Caribbean who've been here a long time. Right? It's to say, like, look, it is possible.
Yes.
I want to see all of us come together and see the benefit of learning from each other and growing our businesses together, investing together. Because at the end of the day, we are Black people in Canada. We're not African, Nigerian, Jamaican. We are Black people in Canada.
And on that note, I would like to say a big thank you, but we cannot finish without complimenting your beautiful necklace.
Thank you.
Which is, beads, what do you call this? This is,
I don't know. I saw it, I like it.
This is very
There's
nice.
this lovely lady in Brampton, this older lady. Her shop is called the Fashion Network. It's in the same plaza of my office.
Okay.
So I usually just run in there when I need to get nice things.
This is good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being our guest second time around. And we wish you the very best in your second term. And I know that there's more ahead of you. And you're blazing the trail for so many. We want to say thank you for continuing to do what you do best.
Thank you so much. And if you can see me, you can be me.
Yes.
Because when women succeed, Ontario succeeds.
I like that. Thank you all and see you on the next one. Bye for now.